All right, we talked earlier about Bidenflation, and even though Joe Biden made a lot of promises to Black Americans, he has let them down. Inflation hurts the Black community as much or more than it hurts anyone else, any other group of people, really, in the country. Limousine liberals don't worry about paying extra to fuel up their jets. It's people who live near the poverty line who notice every dollar that they have to spend just to get by and to try and protect their families. There's a great op-ed in Newsweek by DaQuawn Bruce about how Joe Biden is proof once and for all that the Republican Party is where Black Americans can look for a brighter future and a more prosperous future. DaQuawn Bruce joins us now. DaQuawn, great to see you.
To see you as well, Gina. It's great. Thank you for having me on.
DaQuawn, many of us knew already that Democrats like to keep minorities poor and dependent on government so that they can hold on to political power. But Joe Biden is making things so much worse for Black Americans. You say the proof is right in front of us, DaQuawn.
Absolutely. It's purely economics. And economics, for what it's worth, it's a science. Democrats like to say, trust the science, trust the science. Well, economics itself is a behavioral science. And sadly, this president and this administration is behaving in a reckless and, quite frankly, irresponsible way toward Black Americans, but also toward all Americans when it comes to the economy.
The left loves to highlight the differences between groups of people so that they can use them for pawns for their own political purposes. Republicans are racist. Republicans are homophobes. Republicans hate women. Republicans hate old people. Republicans hate transgender athletes. You can keep going all day with this, but at some point, the smears just don't work anymore. At what point do Black Americans awaken to the fact that the racists are on the left, that the Democrats see only race when they look at skin color?
I think there's a great awakening among Black Americans to see that this is purely an issue upon to use us for votes. And, the organization that I lead, Concerned Communities for America, we're truly rooted in the American civil rights movement. We bring together people. Our math is simple. We focus on addition, not division. The more we bring people together and stop separating us based upon our race or political ideologies, then we can come together to solve the real solutions, the real challenges that our community is facing. And I don't see much of that on the other side.
DaQuawn, what's the difference between having Donald Trump as a president and Joe Biden's regime as president? What's the difference to the Black community? What differences have you seen with your own eyes?
The difference is clear when it comes to the economy overall. The economy, not just for all Americans, but specifically the economy and the state of security within the Black community. We had higher job growth. Black unemployment was at the lowest it had ever been under the former administration. And now we're seeing more and more invisible tax in the form of inflation that hurts Black America disproportionately than it does to the rest of the country. You have more Black Americans spending more of their income on necessities like gas and rent and food and having less money to actually go out and pay for the things that they want to do, that they like. And it's really hurting our community more than it did before.
This new Supreme Court nominee, Jackson, Joe Biden limited the whole scope to Black women. So I guess you wouldn't have been eligible. No qualified Black judges would have been eligible if they happened to be men. Gay men and women weren't eligible. The list goes on and on. Certainly, most other men weren't eligible, regardless of race, including Latinos and Jewish people and others. Does this help or hurt the Black community to single out quotas like this?
I think it does a little bit of both. Quite frankly, it helps because it provides a hope. And, that's something that you can't really put a dollar amount or quantifiable number on. But I believe it does also hurt our community when we talk about people as simply their race. We impose quotas on what we want to get done, a number of inclusion, the type of inclusion we want to happen. That hurts overall. It has the potential to lower the quality of the candidate but it also limits the talent that can come through the door. Overall, while we want to see a diverse country, we have to do it in a way that includes everyone and gives everyone a fair shot based upon their credentials, based upon their action, rather than just their race.
Yeah, absolutely. DaQuawn Bruce, Executive Director of Concerned Communities for America. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, Governor Mike Huckabee here to talk about Joe Biden's rough day at the White House. And that's next, right here on Dr. Gina Primetime. Don't go away.
My bags and I bought a flight. If I could get to London, then I would, or somewhere near. There's a great white sign to Hollywood in my rearview mirror. I'm leaving on a one-way flight, gonna drink some tea in an English garden.